So all you need to do is boil water. Well, that's great if you have ways to boil water without electricity. That's right, we're preppers. Let's go ahead and talk about the best off-grid options to cook and boil water and do whatever we need to do without electricity. Hey everyone, Morgan here. We are preppers. So let's go ahead and make sure that we're prepared without electricity, which means having off-grid, and when I say off-grid, I mean no electricity options, to cook and boil water as needed. So the first one is going to be the EcoZoom Versa. I love this off-grid cooking option. It's by BioLite. They have come out with so many great things. It's a really efficient rocket stove. And I'm able to put my cast iron on it, and it is just a beautiful option. It's slim and compact, great for at home, or if you wanted to throw it in the back of your vehicle. It's really great. It uses sticks, so I'm super happy with this option. And there are going to be links down below to all of these. So the next one is going to be any type of propane. So like a propane stove, the little propane burners, the propane butane cooking camp stoves. These are all things that you can use outdoors or indoors. If you're going to use them indoors, be sure to at least have some sort of window cracked or anything like that. Of course, if you have just a regular propane stove or a like a propane oven or a propane stove, you'll most likely already have the propane or the natural gas, and that stuff will work without electricity, so you wouldn't necessarily need these options. But even if I had or even when I did have a propane cooking option, definitely get like a Coleman stove and these other options, which are handy to have for whenever. And then of course the propane bottles and the connectors and anything else you need to run these. Campfire cooking, any type of campfire cooking I love. I love to cook over a fire. You can build like this little setup that we have here. As you can see, you can have just a fire pit. There's lots of open campfire cooking sources that you can do. You can make just a fire pit in your backyard if you want. Be sure, to obviously make it safely and all that. But I love campfire cooking. It's super easy, but you do have to practice a little bit. So the next one is going to be cooking with a solar oven. I really like the solar oven. If you live in an area in which you get plenty of sun, you can cook with a solar oven very good. It's kind of like cooking with a slow cooker, so you have to plan for it. I have baked in it, I've cooked in it. As you can see from this video, I'm making meatloaf in it. So I've baked donuts in it. I've done all kinds of things in the solar oven, and it is a great option if you live in somewhere that has plenty of sun and you plan ahead for it, because it does take time. While I did talk about campfire cooking a second ago, this is campfire cooking with the solo stove. So this is a little more contained system. If you live in like an urban or suburban area, this is fantastic to do because it's a contained system and you don't have to make your own fire pit. It's movable with you. You don't have to, if you live especially like in a rental or something like that, you could have this little solo stove. Now solo stoves actually range from super small to super big. I actually have a little mini solo stove that would actually work to cook on as well, or you can get something like this that's more like a fire pit. But you can cook over these. All I did was I put a grate over it. I got this from Home Depot, that grate, and then I have cast iron that I'm cooking over, so it's really efficient and it works. Next one is making your own hobo stove. I've made so many hobo stoves in my life. It's so easy, and they just take some coffee cans, some just tin cans, and they're so quick and easy and efficient. The hobo stoves just use like sticks and things, and you can cook over it really quick. So yeah, really easy to make and easy to cook over. You just get a grate, kind of like the one that I showed before, or just any grate, like a camping grate, put it over top and start cooking with it. And the DIY rocket stove. So while I did talk about the Versa, EcoZoom Versa, which is a rocket stove, you can of course make your own rocket stove, again out of tin cans. Just a little different process than a hobo stove. But again, get a grate like you can see here. I have this little camping grate that I used for it. You can boil water, you can cook with it. Rocket stoves are incredibly efficient. There's all kinds of rocket stoves too. You don't have to get these tin cans. You can make like a brick rocket stove if you live in more of a you know, if you own your home or something, you can make a permanent kind of rocket stove. But this is a really nice portable one that you can take with you. Super duper easy. Here is an honorable mention. This is an ultra light wood burning stove. I really like this option because it's foldable. It is super lightweight. You can have it in any of your bags, anything like that. So I really like this option. I'm actually going to be doing a brand new video about this, but I've had this for about a year and I really like it just because it's super lightweight. My last honorable mention is the Fire Pit Plus by BioLite. I never did an actual official review of this, which I think is weird, but this little fire pit is fantastic to cook on, or for just having a contained fire. This is great because it's a little more portable than I think like a big solo stove. But I'm not really concerned about portability. I'm more concerned with just, you know, having something safe to kind of cook over. This does have a grate that goes over it. So, you know, you can cook with it. You can cook with coal or wood, which is a nice options. But yeah, so this is another honorable mention for me. You could put a little cast iron on it, or, you know, a griddle and that kind of stuff, as you can see here, to really maximize the potential. You can have the warmth and you can have the food cooking options off-grid. So there are my 7+ best off-grid options. I have links all down below to where you can go check these out for yourself. Have lots of options. I have all these options, okay? And that's why I love them so much, because I have them and I can choose which option is going to be best for me. I can go make a Hobo Stove and do that. I can just break out the solo stove and do that. I have options. Options are the spice of life, okay? So go ahead and go get your off-grid cooking options. Use them, get to know them. Let me know which are your favorite off-grid cooking options for you and your needs and wherever you are. Thank you all so much for watching Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.